What is up, everyone? Paul here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about 7 underrated Nintendo Switch games. And what I feel makes these games underrated is either they didn't review too well with critics, or I just feel that they definitely deserve more attention and bigger fan bases. So let's get right into this game with New Super Lucky's Tale. And I love that they gave this game kind of the first party treatment with the inside artwork on the Switch case here. But this game is a phenomenal 3D platformer. In my opinion, one of the best on the Nintendo Switch. I feel it stands right up there with Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Super Mario Odyssey. Yes, it is that good. And this game features a variety of different kind of levels and gameplay. In some levels, they're just like a auto runner 2D platformer, and in other ones you have your full 3D platformer where you run around the level, explore, find different collectibles, and get to the objectives. And then you also have your puzzle levels, which are pretty fun. And this game is not too easy. The difficulty kind of reminds me of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, maybe a tad bit easier. But when you get to that last world, if you want a challenge, there's kind of an extra bonus world and basically a challenge world. So if you do want a challenge, it's there for you at the end of the game. But this game is just so cool. Each world has like a hub world where you get to go into different levels. You don't have to beat them all, kind of like the 3D Mario games. But if you do, there's plenty to complete, plenty to do, and you can also change Lucky's outfits in the games. You get in-game currency from finding coins and stuff, and you can buy different outfits for him, just like in Super Mario Odyssey. So this is a 3D platformer that I definitely recommend to anyone that has a Nintendo Switch, and it also is multi-platform. Another Nintendo Switch game that I feel is definitely underrated, ARMS. This game is pretty popular for everyone who had a Nintendo Switch in those first few years, but new Switch owners who just got one in the last couple years or so might not know about this. And this is a Nintendo Switch exclusive, and it's a really fun fighting game, kind of casual fighting game, or can be very competitive, kind of party style game, similar to Super Smash Brothers, I would say. And in this game, yeah, basically you fight as your character who has these huge long arms that go across the screen. And there's also some side content modes, like you have like a volleyball mode, a basketball mode where you pick your opponent up and dunk them in a basketball hoop. And the single player content in this game is pretty cool. There's a fair amount, but not a huge amount. But what really makes this game stand out amongst the best fighting games on the Nintendo Switch is the online. The online on this game is great, and even though this game isn't popular anymore, doesn't get any updates, isn't really talked about, it has a very passionate fan base who keep the online mode for this game going, because anytime I've went to play online in this game, I've never had any trouble at all finding a match. So ARMS is definitely an underrated Nintendo Switch game that I would recommend everyone should have in their Nintendo Switch collection. Now, the next game on my list is a JRPG hidden gem, and that game is Blue Reflection Second Light. And one thing that I really like about this game is the battle system. An RPG can have a good story, good music, all that, but if it doesn't have a good battle system, it can kind of be hard to get into. But this game does have a great battle system. It's turn-based, but it's kind of like a real-time turn-based. It goes really fast-paced. It's a lot of fun. But what really sets this game apart from a lot of others, I would say, is just the kind of cozy, chill vibe and aesthetic that it has to it. The music in this game is so laid back, just the vibe to it is so awesome, and it's very story driven, and it does feature a great story. Nothing too crazy, but it's very dialogue heavy, so you have to be in the mood for that if you want to play this one. But this is just a great JRPG that has been talked about by some great content creators out there, but I still feel that it's went a bit under the radar. So if you're looking for a JRPG hidden gem, I highly recommend Blue Reflection Second Light. Now, the next game on this list is one that I feel the critics just did not get it right with at all. And that game is Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons. If you're a beat 'em up fan, I feel like this one is a must own in your collection. And this game features some really cool mechanics, one of the main ones being that you pick two characters to play as and you kind of tag them in and out. So when one of your characters loses all his health, you have the other one. And this game has a lot of unlockable characters, a lot of unlockable collectibles, all kind of stuff. And it only features 4 stages. But what really makes this game cool is that you can beat it quickly, but there is a lot of replay value because the stages have different routes and different scenarios, and there's even multiple endings in this game. And this game just has really great combat for a beat 'em up, which if you're a beat 'em up fan, that's the main thing that matters. I even put this game in my top best beat 'em ups for Nintendo Switch video on this channel because I feel that this game is definitely that good. This is better than a lot of other beat 'em ups that I've played, and I'd even go as far as to say that this might be like a top 3 or at least a top 5 modern beat 'em up. So if you're into that type of game, definitely make sure you cop Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons. Now, the next game on this list is a Nintendo Switch exclusive that I just don't think it's talked about enough at all, and that game is Cruisin Blast. This game is an over-the-top, wacky arcade racer, and when I say over-the-top, I mean this game is really over-the-top. You can race in everything from regular cars, sports cars, to police cars, helicopters, ambulances, unicorns, dinosaurs. Like, this game just gets really wacky. You can do flips in the air. You can use your nitro boost to completely pretty much run through other vehicles and wreck them, and it's really fast paced. It's a lot of fun. It provides a good challenge. There's a good amount of vehicles to unlock in this one. The courses are really over the top and fun as well, and I would say this is a must own because it is a Nintendo Switch exclusive. You can find this one in the arcades, but it's exclusive to the Nintendo Switch console. And I'd say if you're a fan of racing games, it's a must own. And I'd say if you're a fan of Mario Kart, why not give this game a chance? Another underrated Nintendo Switch exclusive, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. And this game is a really fun action RPG that plays kind of like a 3D beat 'em up brawler, and you have all your awesome Marvel characters here, from Wolverine, Spider-Man, Venom, the Hulk, the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. They're all here. The gameplay in this one is a lot of fun. This one even features co-op, 1 to 4 players, and the graphics when you play look pretty good, but the cutscenes in this game look absolutely phenomenal. Like, if the cutscenes were upscaled to 4K, it would look like a PS5 or Xbox Series game. That's how great the cutscenes in this game looked. And I actually need to go back and beat this one. I have played a few hours of it, but it is a lot of fun. Actually, I might need to play this one with a friend just to get into that awesome co-op. But this is definitely a slept-on Nintendo Switch exclusive that you can't play anywhere else. Definitely underrated. If you're a fan of beat 'em ups or action RPGs or Marvel, definitely add this one to your Nintendo Switch collection. I had to save the best for last, and the next game reviewed pretty well with fans and critics alike, but I feel that it still doesn't get the attention that it deserves, and that game is Pocky and Rocky Reshrined. Pocky and Rocky is a somewhat remake and somewhat new game based on the original, and this game is just a lot of fun. This is a classic top-down run and gun shoot 'em up, 2D graphics, sprites that look great, graphics that look great, and this game will really challenge the heck out of you, almost to the point of frustration, or actually to the point of frustration, because it is really difficult, but the challenge that it gives you is fair, and I had never played this style of game before, and I was able to beat it. So if I can beat this game, I feel like any decent gamer can beat this game, because it does give you checkpoints after you get to certain parts of the level, and after you get to a boss battle, it'll let you restart right from that battle. So it's not like the Super Nintendo games from back in the day where you'll have to restart the whole game and game over, but it does offer that same kind of difficulty. And the combat mechanics in this one are great. You have your button that you use to shoot, and then you have your deflector. You get to play as different characters. This game is not that long, but if it's your first time playing, it may take you a little while to beat it anyway, because it is super difficult, but it's super rewarding. Like every time you beat a level in here, you're just gonna feel so rewarded that you got through that hard ass level and were able to beat it. And when you finally see the end credits, you're just gonna feel like, wow, I really did it. I really beat this tough as nails game. But this game is just awesome fun, definitely underrated, and I feel like a lot more people should definitely try Pocky and Rocky Reshrined. So that's it for my list of 7 underrated Nintendo Switch games. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, peace.